Welcome to 𝙏𝙚𝙮𝙮 Sundowns TV. We're still chilling with the gents, Hlompo Kekana and 𝙏𝙤𝙮𝙮 Mabunda. Welcome, gents.
Thank you for having us, Mr. Modise.
Modise. Mamelang, gents. As we know, this week we're talking Champions League. The team is going to play Al-Hilal here at home. Let's look at the importance of winning, your first game, especially in the group stages.
I think it's very, very important to win the first game in the group stage. Remember, you just have to win your home matches. You go away, you can easily cancel them, and they will cancel each other. But I think the most important part is to take your initiative and win your first match. Your background, your home, the supporters are there to back you up. You just have to risk it and make sure that you go for maximum points. I think 3 points will set the tone for the rest of the group stages. And
now you look at Al-Hilal as well. They do have players that are participating now in CHAN. You do have players also that, they participated in last year's AFCON. So what do you think of the experience that they have coming into this fixture that maybe it's something that Sundowns need to look at?
Yeah, having players that are also representing the national teams give them a bit of an advantage. If you look at how they perform in this season, they've played 17 games and they've won 14 already. It shows that the experience that they bring in terms of the quality from the players, it really gives them an opportunity to dominate. So we should really be cautious on our approach. But as we say, as Skipper was saying, that it's at home. You need to go all out and make sure that you get the maximum result while you're at home. Then you'll know how to finish off the business when you go that side.
And also, if you remember, when we were playing, the home games was where we wanted to score more goals to get that buffer going away. Do you think it's still the same conversation within the club right now?
I'd love to believe so.
Yeah.
Because remember, the structure is still the same. Yeah. And even to qualify, you still qualify the same in the group stage. So what you have to do is try to continue with what has been working for the team. The group stages are very tricky, but if you win your games, you're guaranteed to go to the next stage. So I'm sure the goals will come in hand at some point as you prolong this journey. But I think players know the importance of winning the matches. The goals are the ones who will win your matches. So whether you score 3, whether you score 4.
And keeping that 0 as well.
Yeah, it's important to even keep clean sheet because, we've seen a lot of upset in this tournament, and you don't want to fall for that trap to concede at home and then having to chase the game.
And as we know, most people will tell you that the best teachers and experience. You look at how we lost, how we were knocked out last year. You look at the disappointment from the team, from the fans, because there's always high expectations from 𝙏𝙚𝙮𝙮 Sundowns, and which is one trophy that we never won last season, as much as we dominated domestically. What's the experience that we need to take into this year's Champions League? Because I believe that Champions League every season it improves. Teams improves, they make better signings, especially the ones that participate in the Champions League. What experience can we take into this? You still remember, we still have youngsters, neo-Miamas that came in. They've never been part of the Champions League team before. So what experience now that they have that can actually be possibly maybe to use to advantage over the weekend?
Yeah, you say like you say that it's really important for the club to really go all out, especially from the goal side of things, whereby the more goals we score, the more opportunities are created for also the younger ones to come into the setup and be able to experience the Champions League. Yes, we're doing so well in the domestic league, and it's a really good platform that one of the younger players that are doing so well, they now need to show up, because 𝙏𝙗𝙮𝙮 Sundowns it's a team that wants to dominate the continent, not only here at home but also in the continent. So we need to up the game and be able to also usher people from being focused on dominating here in South Africa, also prepare their mindset to go and dominating the continent. So players like Cassius, who are coming into the setup for the first time in the Champions League, Neo, they're doing so well. The confidence is there, and the team has really backed their talent, and they've got so much support from those who have been there and have done it. So it really gives us a platform whereby even the younger ones, they'll need to rise up. They need to understand that it's not going to be as easy or as free-flowing as it may be here at home. There is a different ball game whereby every chance you get, you need to take, because goals really count. If you score goals away from home, you have an advantage. So it's really something that we need to consider as well.
And again, the game is our best teacher. We saw what happened when we played in the match against a team from Angola, Petro Luanda. We saw what happened. The things that we can avoid, we could avoid. And in the matches that we go into in the group stage, we know that the players that side, they are direct, they want goals. So they sometimes bypass the midfielders to go direct to goals. So as a team, I think those are the lessons as players. You take it personal and say, I know we've seen how the approach is in the game. As Shuga saying, it's a different ball game altogether. So we just have to apply ourselves differently. And a lot of mental strength is needed, and a lot of a lot of details that I'll be playing needs to be paid attention to. Keep the ball, make sure that you deny them space to enjoy and to even dictate the game for the longest of time. Of course, the experienced guys is to come in hand to help the younger ones, those that haven't been in the space for those are the new ones in the space. To say, okay, we've seen what went down in the last episode. This time around, let's try to approach it differently when it comes to application in the field of play. Players need to take responsibilities for the performances. Not only that, but to deny the opposition to dictate the game, especially when you're playing at home.
Would you agree that Champions League it's equivalent to what the national team is, because it teaches you continental football. It forces you to learn. Now you look at the squad that we have. Most of them, they're not exposed to national team setup, and also because in the national team, when you go to the national team, you can't go in and play and have the same performance that you have in the club level to actually play in the national team. So now you look at how the team is going now. You look at people that are on form. You have your Shalilile back in scoring. You've got Cassius also, scoring goals. You've got Timbazwanis or forever. You've got the list goes on. You've got Alendes now that are new into the setup of the Champions League. And you've got players that are playing in a different position. Your Mvala now playing as a centre back. So now the game now requires you to play differently. And sometimes playing differently is playing less. Because now you need to understand where not to foul.
Of course.
How to foul.
Of course.
Which teams likes set pieces, those type of things. And
to cut him, and you're right when you mentioned that part, because that's a very important, detail that we need to look at, especially in the game of this nature. Shuga spoke about the different game models that these teams are playing in this Champions League. So you need to gather on those elements of not having to foul unnecessarily, having to, those people, they're playing for the little chance, half a chance they score. And they know how to shoot the ball. They know how to, with the right technique. But if you don't allow them to threaten your box, give them, spaces where they're not going to hurt you, as you mentioned, the details, you play less, as you mentioned. I think this is a very, very good, coaching lessons that one can take. Because I saw a match against Pirates where Monari just dived in the box, and a lot of people were convinced that was a penalty. But I can tell you now, in the Champions League,
it's a penalty.
It's a penalty because with
the Moroccan guy, number 7. Remember?
Yeah, no, it does a lot.
Like you're saying, you mentioned about the importance of the Champions League. It also it's similar to how people play at the national teams, because in the Champions League, majority of the players who participate in the Champions League, it means they're doing well in their respective teams, in their respective countries. So they have already been recognized as potential representatives for the country. So it also gives us a dimension whereby even our players, the younger ones that are coming in, the more they do well in the Champions League, it opens up ways for them to also be recognized for the national team, because they are now exposed to the different cultures that are within the continent, that will expose people as we compete in different countries. You know what is expected, or how to apply yourself in different places, and it requires everybody now to forget themselves, forget about themselves, and fix their desires and wants to the betterment of the team and the advancement of the team to the next level. So it really requires, because like Keke was saying that people they've got the right technique. They may not be a good team, but if you make a foul outside the box, they may score that free kick. They may take that opportunity. If you make a foul just nearby, you never know what could a penalty can come from nowhere. This is Champions League, so it teaches you where to foul, where not to foul, how to foul, whether the team is balanced or not. You find ways to make sure that the team is solid, and make sure that
just remember that team from Togo that humbled us that day. There was no team, Tito, but they humbled us. We even after the match, we were sitting around like, guys, how did we lose this game?
So
it was so easy. I don't know how they managed to beat us, but that's the nature of Champions League. They
it's
give
unpredictable.
they give you the ball and you think you are in control. You are not. If you're not scoring, if you're not scoring goals, you're not in control. So I think this is a lesson that we can take going to the group stage now.